what's been going on with Sex and the City, I don't care anymore. It's one of those things where I went to sleep, walked away. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about this thing going on with now Deadline is now saying, well, it was confirmed that Amandla Stenberg was signed on to do the Acolyte. Sorry if I don't believe it. Sorry if I'm because who confirmed it? I mean, where was this confirmed? I need you guys to understand. It would be nice to know who said what to whom and why we should believe this. Again, I don't believe it. Now, why don't I believe it? Well, let's see. There's no confirmation. No confirmation. Real confirmation. Disney has not made a statement. Lucasfilm hasn't made a statement. Okay. And there are people out there that can't let go of 3 years ago. Okay. First off, Kathleen Kennedy is not the most powerful woman in Hollywood. She's not anymore. Okay. She lost her cachet when Spielberg walked away from Indy 5. Okay. We need to put, hey, Lady Sandy, we need to put that away. Okay. We need to stop referring her to that way. The thing, the world has changed in 3 years. We've gone through a hellacious presidential campaign. We have a terrible president. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything as bad in my life as Joe Biden. He's just horrible. The whole administration is horrible. Let's go further. We've gone through lockdowns, which are bullshit. They're threatening people with more lockdowns. The world is not the same as it was in 2018. Okay, so the idea that Kathleen Kennedy is some sort of all-powerful wood tick in the body of, embedded in the body of Lucasfilm and Disney is ridiculous. Okay, I don't care what her contract says. Her biggest ally, Bob Iger, is leaving. Okay, Bob Iger can say, well, I'm doing Star Wars movies now after Solo crashed into the molten hot lava of the Earth's crust. Okay, he gave those stories they were going to turn into movies to Jon Favreau to develop for Disney Plus. That's what was going on there. Okay, now we get the rumor from WDW Pro that Kennedy lost the movies, lost the feature films. Okay, so what is going on here? And this is, I can see this going on. I can see this happening. Imagine someone who, because she thinks she identifies, I mean, she could identify as a dining room table. Okay, Leslie Headland could identify as a dining room table. Okay, it doesn't matter, all right, what she identifies as. When you've got the Carlyle Group, when you've got, JP Morgan Chase, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, Goldman Sachs, Bear Stearns going, the fuck? It doesn't matter if she's purple, pink, blue, or gray. It doesn't matter what she identifies as. Again, she could identify as a dining room table or a candle. Doesn't matter. That's not going to protect her from them. They don't give a shit. Okay? Money is money. That's what it is. There's no good money. There's no bad money. It's just how it's earned. Okay? And this project that Kathleen Kennedy pulled out of her ass with Leslie Headland was a retaliation for what Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were doing out of her out from under her nose, okay, including George Lucas and not her when they're writing scripts. She's not a creative. Why would they ask her for anything? All right, she's never written a script in her life. There's a picture of her after the Oscars for E.T., and you've got Melissa Matheson with her Oscar because she won the Oscar that year for best screenwriting, and Steven Spielberg. It's like they're two very creative people, and they're toady. Okay, Kathleen's a toady. Hate to tell you that, guys, but it's true. So let's go into this further. You asked a good question. Do I? No, I don't. I think certain people are wrong about what Chapek is capable of. It's been very obvious from the start that he already put Kennedy in on notice. I'm done with your shit. Stop doing that. Okay. After what she did to Gina, and it came from her, it didn't come from the Bobs. It came from her. Okay. All right. That embarrassing Deadline article. That, and I'm going to say this, I'm pretty sure Gina knew that she was gone before that article came out. The idea that she was surprised, I think she had a clue because she wouldn't let up in her tweeting. And, you know, the fact that suddenly you see a lot of shit going down, all these articles coming out about this, and this, and, you know, Chapek, you know, getting bad-mouthed, and yet we get the Atlantic article where Star Wars is basically, they're basically saying Star Wars and Lucasfilm and stuff is being taken away from Kennedy. People forget that, but also people don't want it to be true. For whatever reason, they don't want it to be true, okay? Sometimes good things happen, and I think sometimes people have to remember that. Sometimes you got to stop being angry, and that's a problem we have in the community, the fan community. We've seen it play out, this civil war with Bob Chapek, and it's like she lost. She's been shut up, okay? You know, the assumption that somehow she's still the most powerful woman in Hollywood is 3 years old. It is an assumption by people who haven't worked in the industry in over a decade. It's not hope, it's fact. Okay? Find me where any of that is true. Find Kathleen. Where is she? She's gone to ground. She's done 2 interviews in the last 4 months. One was doing a thing for an award for an Irish film festival, and the other one was with the WPGA, and that was it. Or the PGA, Producers Guild of America. You know, that's it. That's all. That's it. Done. Okay? All right, done. Nothing. She's said nothing. There's a certain point where she just disappeared off the set of Indy 5. Then you've got all these horrible leaks coming out. Hey, all these horrible leaks coming out about what Indy 5 could have in it. Oh, I'm fine. And it's like, where is she? How did that get out? How come Doomcock found out about it? It was the same stuff that Doomcock found out that came out in the Daily Mail. Okay, where is she? Now we got, WDW Pro basically referring to her as an executive producer. Now she's still listed as producer, and they might have not have even thought about changing that title, But if she gets herself kicked upstairs, she doesn't have any control of Indy anymore. Something is going on. But we have to assume, because we have to be negative, and we have to pretend that it's still 2018, and she, she's the God High Empress, that she's all powerful and never leave. That is so stupid. I can't even. And I know where it comes from. And it's like, the do you understand that the industry is not what it was when that person was there? And it's not what it was 3 years ago. Okay. We've got Bob Iger literally 3 weeks from now walking out the door. We've got a woman who's coming from the Carlyle Group. The Carlyle Group. Start taking this shit seriously. Okay? Why? I don't understand why Kennedy gets a free pass when everything she's got on the table's been canceled. Now, what I think about what's going on with this Amanda Stenberg, this is what I think. Leslie Headland, I agree with Cameron. I mean, this was my first gut instinct. Hey, Mazeros, that Leslie Headland put this out there to force Chapek and to force Iger to put it into production. All right, this was the last minute thing. Now, if you look and see what happened, what's going on with Patty Jenkins, her movie's done. Star Wars has no feature films in the works. Okay, none at all. Okay, but we got this Acolyte shit coming with a game that won't sell. The trailer's pretty, but we all know about pretty trailers. They hide trash, don't they? A pretty trailer will have every joke in it, every dramatic moment to get you to come to the movie, and then that's it. That's all, and the movie sucks. That's all. But we've got all this going on. With the Acolyte, we got this thing. Now, if you're looking through a lot of this stuff, I mean, they're in talks. Oh yeah, you're right, Maze. With this actress, and then Deadline says it's confirmed without saying it was confirmed. Deadline, of course, is Kennedy's mouthpiece. But when you look at the fan press, they were the ones that released this, that this girl was in talks. Doesn't matter. They could have it could be if we make it, if this rolls, you'll be in it. That's probably the agreement. I can't remember what it was called. Cameron had a phrase for it, but that's probably the agreement. And Headland is trying to beat the clock because they don't know who Susan Arnold is. And, when I saw Carlyle Group, I was like, that's serious shit. Okay. That's money, money, money. That is the organization that quietly invests and protects former presidents' money. Carter, Clinton, George W. I don't know if Donald Trump allows them anywhere near his stash, but you know what I mean? These are serious, serious people. So for her to be working with them is a BFD. Okay. Headland is desperate. This was a desperate move. Okay. I doubt, in fact, I'm going to go when I'm done here. I'm going to go look and see what else she's got in the hopper. But it's like all of this stuff is coming in the last month. Jenkins walks away, Taika Waititi's movies probably. in development limbo, never to be made. And then you've got Headland, and I think she's the one behind this. I don't care what anyone says. There's no reason for it. It comes out from nerd whatever, gets picked up by Variety, and then Deadline can't confirm who confirmed it. And to me, it just looks like someone is trying to force Disney to officially give them the go ahead. And I don't see that happening. I don't. I mean, they can sit there and say, well, the show has been, I mean, you get these SJW piece of shit human beings. I don't even think they're really human. Going, well, it's slated to start filming in May. It was pushed back to May. Okay. Just like everything else, Kennedy, it was supposed to start filming now, I think. Okay. Just like everything else Kennedy had slated. Okay. Either delayed or canceled outright. Okay. My feeling is they're going to slow roll it. I'm sure Chapek wants to brain this woman. I'm sure Susan Arnold's like, why would we okay this show when the book series has been such a flop? It has. I mean, you can't buy them anymore except for at Walmart. That tells me that they don't have any faith in it. So please explain to me why Disney, and I don't think Bob Chapek is crazy. He's a penny pincher, okay? Which bothers a lot of people. And it's like, look, I'm not a park goer, but you gotta look at the big picture. All right, Disney isn't just the parks. It's not just the studios. There's a lot of moving parts at Disney, okay? And it's one of those things where I think a lot of people forget it. They forget about what a conglomeration Disney really is, and they want to whine and complain about Bob Chapek. Fine, okay, whine and complain about Mr. Chapek. I don't get it. Disney needs a penny pincher. They need someone instead of Hair Spendabuck, Bob Iger, who put them into a massive amount of debt. They need someone who's going to say, no, we're not doing that. And, the idea that somehow Leslie Headland is protected because she's a dyke. It's like, no, not when Arnold comes in. Arnold can come in and just say, we're not going to do this because we don't have the money. Too bad, so sad, bye-bye. That's it. That's what I feel very strongly is going to happen. And I think that they may just do what they did to Ryan Johnson and slow roll it until Headland finds a different job. Because eventually she's going to have to maybe go back to Netflix. I mean, after Barry Bostwick was in a Christmas movie on Netflix, and the romance was he wanted his son, who's gay, to move back home to be closer, so he's tried to set him up with I know, I hear all of you vomiting now. I'm vomiting. They need to stop that shit. Okay. There has to be a sense of reality where people are like, people really don't like that. No shit, Sherlock. But we have to look at this in a way as why Oh, I know, you're right. And the problem I have is when people uh, don't look at things going on right now. They're still stuck in 2018. They're still stuck in 2012. They don't understand that the world has changed. JPEG is looking at, Ghostbusters Afterlife and going, why wasn't this done with Star Wars? Okay, you there's a real economic impact of the garbage that is going on, and the people coming in to lead Disney. I mean, Bob Chapek, Susan Arnold are very serious people. Bob Iger's not a serious person. He thinks he's Louis B. Mayer. Kathleen Kennedy's never been a serious person her whole fucking life. Okay, I don't, and anybody who knows me knows where my attitude comes from. You don't look. Capitol Hill is not what it was when I was there in 2003. Okay, it is not. Washington isn't anything like it was. So when you have someone who hasn't worked in the business since 2012, and you're still concentrating on shit that happened 3 years ago, and you still think that is the rule, you're not taking into consideration company chemistry, the comings and goings of executives, and the fact that people change. Companies change because people come and go, and the industry changes. Okay, we've had movies come out that weren't woke, that did well. Okay, let me explain. If you don't think Bob Chapek and Susan Arnold didn't notice that, and are looking at both Kevin Feige and Queen Kathy going, what the fuck? First off, they're spending too much money, okay, to develop and make these movies. Second of all, they're not, the movies are so disconnected from what the fans want. People aren't responding to them. I mean, I'm sure that Bob Chapek, who's probably got kids, I don't know, was like, my kids don't want to watch this. I'm the CEO of the Walt Disney Company, and my kids hate Star Wars because it's not, it doesn't ring true to them. Think about that. Think about it. Okay, that's a BFD. Okay, that's a great big BFD. Okay, and that's what's going on. And who's responsible? Kathleen Kennedy. So the question is, why would they allow her to stay in any capacity to make anything? Now, she could have said, okay, you're not giving me Rogue Squadron, let me have the Acolyte, and then they give her a starvation budget, like $1 million an episode, or they slow roll the development until people just get bored, or people are like, I've got another project I got to do. I can't do this now, which I think is probably going to happen, regardless if it's in her contract or not. And the fact that she's there till she wants to leave, I know who put that out there. I know who said that. He has no fucking idea. He doesn't work in Hollywood anymore. He is not connected to anybody by his admission. But he spews this nonsense, and because he once made a short film, he gets feted like he's some sort of god on high. Meanwhile, Cameron's like, maybe it is, but this thing with the Stenberg coming out reads like a power play. Okay. And Leslie Headland thinks, because of what she identifies as, that somehow she's safe from the wrath of the Bob. And I say, no, she's not. Okay? And she did it too fast because Iger hasn't done anything with it. And, I could see Iger, washing his hands of all of it. But if Iger himself is like, I really think this is a bad idea, we're not going to do it, and they decide to slow roll it, just let them develop it, it'll sit and then it'll die. And I really think that's probably what they're going to do. Now, why would they do that? First off, it's what they did with Rian Johnson's trilogy. Okay. Rian Johnson walked away because he wasn't going to get anything. And the excuse was, well, it's Lucasfilm's fault. No, it's not. Disney didn't want to make it. And we all know that now. Okay. So don't try to lie about the real reason for all of this, because it's bullshit. Okay? We have to look at it as who would do this? Who would put this out there? Leslie Headland. Where's Kennedy? Again, if she's the most powerful woman in Hollywood and can stay as long as she wants, where is she? She disappeared off the set of Indy 5. She wasn't in England when they did the PGA interview. She's at home. Okay, or offices somewhere. But she wasn't in England. Her husband is in California. I think they both walked away for producing Indy 5. I think Kennedy and her idea with Phoebe Waller-Bridge got found out. I'm going to say this, I think Harrison Ford slow-rolled his injury because this was not what he signed up for. This was not what he agreed to. And he slow-rolled his injury, and now we got this. And it's fine. It's fine. Okay? That leak came out, the rumor leak that Doomcock had out a long time ago, that I didn't believe because I thought it was too stupid. Daily Mail puts it out, and suddenly Indy 5 is pushed back a year from its release date. And Kennedy is nowhere to be found. I feel like calling up the FBI and issuing a missing persons report. Okay? I do. Oh yeah, they did, and if I have more time, I'll probably do a video on that. But you guys got to remember, there's so much we don't know. But the fact is, everything is different, and it's different in a way that is good. And the idea that Kennedy is still this prominent, woman. Well, I think it was, the thing that bothers me is when you bring up Kennedy being this all-powerful woman, and yet all this shit about Lucasfilm and how bad everything was going on in the press started after what happened to Gina. Okay? It started after what happened to her. And Kennedy, to me, it looks like she's been cowed. All right? Kennedy looks to me like she can't maneuver anymore. And I'm really tired of hearing about her. I really am. She's done. Okay. You know, her name on the door doesn't mean anything anymore. All right. She has less power than Elizabeth II does. Okay. So this stuff with Leslie Headland and the Acolyte, it doesn't ring like it would come out of her mouth, of Kennedy's office. It sounds like it came out of Leslie Headland's office. And Leslie Headland is desperate to get this show on the road, and she wants them to okay the start of filming, because they can have a date in May of 2022. And, it doesn't matter. Hey, Patrick, I mean, what matters is who walks into the door on January 1st. And a lady who has worked for the Carlyle, with the Carlyle Group, is taking over as chairman of the board of Disney. Okay? And a lot of things that Chapek wanted to do are going to happen. And with the advent of Susan Arnold, Kathleen Kennedy is about this big now. So what I think happened is Headland did this because Iger's soon to be gone, and he's really the only ally that could possibly want to make this. And I don't think we'll ever, it's going to, if they let it to continue to develop, they'll push the movie back further, or TV show back further, filming, because they're not going, and whatever budget that they're talking about, it's going to be about that big. Thanks, Critical Equation. That means a lot to me. I'm literally, it boggles my mind that people don't see it. Okay. And, they could let it actually go into development and let it start filming, and it's going to die. All right, you want to know what I think? My response to, and just like that, was typical of the fandom for Sex and the City. Okay, that show is bombing. It's too politically correct. It's forced diversity. All right. The girls, I mean, especially Miranda, so fucking phony. Okay. And then they kill off Big. Okay. Yeah, she has. I mean, I just said that. She's been there for a long time. So her perspective and what's been going on at Disney as a businesswoman might be, is the death knell for all of these people. I mean, and if Headland actually thinks, because this lady is supposedly a lesbian, that she's got some sort of ally there, no. No. Money talks. That's all they want. She's been put in there to fix what was broken. Sorry to tell you that, guys. But I think, again, I want to add this, that Headland put this in before Iger is gone, in a desperate attempt to get them to okay the start of filming. All right, that's what I think this is. It's political pressure. And I don't think Iger has any will to do it. He knows it's stupid. And I know sure as hell know that Bob Chapek doesn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. It is so obviously a money pit. And there's no reason why anybody would want to have it. There's just none. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm gonna take the dog for a walk, and I just got really frustrated because it appears sometimes people don't want to listen to logic and reason. Okay? Hi, Kojak. Come here. You want to say hi? Here he is. There's the boy. Here's Mr. Handsome. Can you say hi? You baby boy. I love you. You want to go for a walk? You want to go see people? He wants to go see if we see the deer again. So anyway, but here he is. Say hi to everybody. He's gonna walk through. Hopefully, not a Christmas ornament off the military tree. Anyway, I gotta go, and you guys have a good day. It's just don't let negativity keep you away from being a logical person. Okay, when you see something in the press, read between the lines. Okay, you gotta read between the lines. If you read between the lines, you'll suddenly see what's really going on in the world. Steph, signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.